watching Who Wants to Be in the San Fran PD.
Well, apparently no one in California. So San Francisco PD is turning to the Lone Star State. The department has been holding job fairs at 4 Texas universities to persuade young people to join their force. And it's been a success for the job recruiters so far as they've decided to stay in Texas. Who in their right mind in Texas, Emily, would actually accept a job in San Francisco where they actually hate the police?
That's what I'm saying. What happened to all the defund the police chants? Take those same picket signs you held that said defund the police. Take a little Sharpie, cross out the D, put an R, and then you got refund the police to undo the stupidity that you created. Congratulations, guys.
Yeah.
You played yourself.
Shouldn't they, Tyrus, be sending social workers instead of the police? Because remember that?
Yeah, the social workers went out.
Yeah.
They're still looking for them.
Yeah, it's true. The social workers never came back.
Yeah. So, dog catchers, you're up. What do you got? Moron. How dare they? How the temerity, the unmitigated gall to bring your ass to Texas to try to convince young men and women of the Lone Star State to go, get this, go up and get a job that you're going to get canceled from, ruined from, and probably put in jail for doing your job. There's not a chance in hell this is going to happen. This is what, and they can't refund the police anymore because it's not about money for police officers anymore. Mm-hmm. It's about spitting in their face, treating them like they're the criminal, going after them. They want to take away qualified immunity. Not to the politicians who can say and whatever they want, but police officers are in the line of fire. There is no, you cannot encourage one, if they get one person, I would be very worried about it. It would be because no one in their right mind would go into any of these states that don't support the police department. And even if you do make an arrest, you're going to be arresting the same guy 20 times because your DA is going to let him go because handcuffs are racist. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's no, absolutely no, nothing. It would take an entire change of the administration. You'd have to have new DAs. You'd have to have new support, and they're not going to do that.
Todd, I'm going to ask you. You look like a timeshare salesman. Let's be honest.
I am.
I don't even know. It's kind of an insult, but let's go with it. So San Fran has this homeless problem. They got drugs. They got crime. They're down 600 officers. What would be the sales pitch that would get someone to join the force? You're making the sales pitch.
Well, I've thought long and hard about that, and I think to a certain extent, it's to what Tyra said. What is the number? You know the expression, we all have our number. What is that number, that dollar amount that will get a Texas
$1 million.
Well, I don't know what that number is. To leave the safe confines of Texas, where as a police officer, you're probably lauded in 85% of the state, and you don't have to pay a state income tax, to the fecal-lined streets of San Francisco, where you also do have to pay state income tax.
Fecal line. Good.
That was beautiful. But then I thought a little bit more about it, and I said, the person who's going to take this job has to have that same mentality as somebody who enters the military, somebody who knows they're going to be leaving our country for a foreign country, which ultimately is what San Francisco has become, going to be going into a third world situation and going to be trying to restore the ideals of American democracy to that individual, all in the ideals of American freedom. So you have to have that military mindset literally to go to become a freaking cop in San Francisco. And think about how ridiculous that is, but that's the only mindset of a person that I think is going to want to do that job. It has to be a completely selfless person who wants to restore our cities to their once greatness.
So you're basically talking about Kilmeade.
Yes. He has restored Massapequa.
Yeah, I would like him to leave and go to California to be a police officer. Loftus, you're well known by the police and the local libraries where you sleep. Is this a wise decision to leave the splendor of Texas for the streets of San Pupisco?
Yeah.
I just came up with that. San Pupisco.
San Pupisco.
Dropping gold here.
Yes. Pooperoni treat.
I think this is all kind of offensive in a weird way. It's kind of stereotypical. You know, like San Francisco is like, where can we find the toughest, most rootinest, tootinest, kickers? Right?
We have a lot of on the ground. We need people who wear kickers.
Right? Why didn't they go to Pennsylvania to recruit? Why aren't they in Connecticut? You know?
Because everybody in Connecticut looks like me. I live in
Right? So
Connecticut.
Even the black people do.
Right. It is weird.
I've seen it.
It is funny. It's like almost like, you know what? It's amazing. You stumbled onto a good point.
Ouch.
Rare. It's like California is like we need to hire our help outside.
Yes.
Because we don't like to do it. We're upper class. We like the finer things, but
Yeah.
let's outsource.
Where can we get some dumb, tough hicks?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go to Texas, by golly.
Yeah. We probably don't even have to pay them very much.
No, they probably.
Yeah, that's exactly.
They're gonna be impressed.
Yeah, exactly. What, money? I get money for this?
Well,
hell?
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.